Hey everyone, how's it going? All right, this is Peter here, and I gotta tell you, I've got some notes for you today. That's right, we've got some notes. Gotta talk to you about some good stuff. Yeah, I want to point out some things to you and see what you think. All right, and first of all, I want to say thank you to my new subscribers, to my new fan base that is asking me some good questions, reaching out to me. Feel you, man. I appreciate you. I thank you. Let's get going. Yeah, so like I was saying, with Hawkeye, then we have some options, right? So I could see why he sits there, and I could see why the deluxe is still sitting is available because he's a little more expensive. He's a little more expensive, so some people they can afford um, a higher price, or if they get the cheaper one, they're able to probably get two figures. So for whatever reasons, I'm not that surprised that deluxe is still available. So that's one thing to consider is it's like with all these stormtroopers. As you know, some of the stormtroopers already, like Cody and the Death Trooper and I think the Dark Trooper's coming up. They're gonna go fast because there's like that. First of all, Mandalorian is hot right now, right? And people want it. People want it. It's a nice buzz. So for the Mandalorian infantry one, like I saw the baby, and I was like, wow. I mean, he is smoking. I mean, smoking. I like it. Beautiful. I mean, the coloring, how strong he looks, the bulkiness of it. I mean, beautiful. So I saw that, and I was like, immediately put in my cart, like immediately, right? So, and that's the other thing too. That you got to. So here's another thing that I'm gonna get some advice I'm gonna give you, right? I know this a lot of times. When we get a figure, we want it now, now, bring it, right? But what happens is that the new stuff that comes out and people put it on pre-order, more people are putting it on pre-order, and more people are putting it on pre-order, and more people are putting it on pre-order. And then finally, it gets to that point where it comes out. We start showcasing it. Ooh, look at this, and all of a sudden everybody wants it. Well, by the time that everybody wants it, a lot of them already been sold on pre-order. Right? First batch, second batch. Right? So with that said, now your chances are slimmer. Slimmer. Right? So what I can suggest to you is that, one of the reasons why I think I get these figures is that when they come out on pre-order, as soon as they come out, I put it on pre-order because the reality is that sometimes you don't have to make your first payment for it seems like a year. Right? I was looking at my card, and I was like, there's literally, I can't even remember what figure it was, but it's like literally, I have been paying on it. It's been on reserve. It's been on my pre-order for over a year now. This March, it was a year. And finally in May, this May coming up, I'm going to make my first payment. So that's something to consider. That's something to consider. Yeah, because yeah, I'm gonna let you take a look at him a little bit while we talk. Yeah, so consider that because the reality is that I think there's ways that you can make it happen. I think that if you really look at the situation, if you really pay attention to what the dates are on some of these figures, as far as release dates, as far as the payment plan, some of the payment plans are $50, $40 for a month. The down payment is really low. I think it's like $28 for one of my figures. That's nothing, right? $25. That's nothing. Then if you have a reward, they'll take that reward, which is $25, and they'll reduce your payments if you could add it to that figure. So there's ways to look into it. There's ways that you could actually make it work. So think about that. When something comes out, check out when the release date is. Check out, okay, well, they're offering this figure, but it's not going to come out to 2022. When in 2022? Is it February? Is it May, June, right? And then it's like, then if you get on the payment plan, you could see where the first payment is going to be. And therefore, you could then say, okay, I could definitely put a down payment on that because that way it's a guarantee that I'm going to get it. And I don't have to worry about paying for it but later. In the meantime, you could take a little jar, put it aside, put $5 a week, whatever it is, add to it, right? So that when it comes down to paying for your figure, to finally paying for it, you could either pay a nice sum for it or be able to make your payments without stressing over it. So that's my advice to you. Look into that. Do your homework, scope it out. Some people are using other companies. But whether it's Pop Toys, whether it's Toys Wonderland, whatever it may be, but also weigh out your options with those places because sometimes you get a better price in some of those other sites. But you also got to consider that some of those sites don't offer a really great reward program. And that's one of the things that I like about Sideshow, that I think that the reward program is fantastic. I mean, I've gotten 2 free figures of the reward program. And the great thing about it is that 2 figures that I got are already skyrocketing in the secondary market. Yeah, I got Yoda, right? Yoda, that little guy that nobody wanted to get because he was little and they didn't want to pay all that much for him. Well, that little guy is now anywhere from $350 to $400, right? I mean, right? So with that, you gotta say, man, I'm glad I got him. I got him for free. And then the other one, Darth Maul, DX-18, with those killer like bionic legs. I call them bionic legs. They were like robotic, right? Beautiful, right? The one with the seed. I got him for free. I mean, that's amazing, right? Because can't get him. Can't get him. And on the secondary market, I'm telling you, he's already starting to. So yeah, so that's one of the things I like about the reward program at Sideshow. And so I try to get my figures from that, and especially if I could pre-order it because I know that I don't have to pay anything for a while. The bad thing about it is that you're not ever sure when the figure's going to show. But you deal with it. It's just part of the game, and that's what it is. This is all a game, right? It's all a game, and I find it exciting. That thing that the game is really exciting. I'm like, okay, now what? So something to think about there. So the other day, I think I was telling you that I saw the Superman statue, Christopher Reeve, and then the Cara Dune figure, the statue, and I think they're both around $580 or something, $585 or so. I think he may be a little cheaper than she is actually. I'm telling you, trust me when I tell you, those are going to be listed pretty fast. First of all, Christopher Reeve, he is Superman. He's the iconic Superman, right? I think that, you know, is a beautiful, beautiful figure. And I love the fact that his expression is a little bit on the interesting, quirky side. But I find that also makes it even more interesting. But his presence is freaking amazing. And then she is incredible because they captured her strength, they capture her determination. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And now with all the craziness that's surrounding her and the Mandalorian, with her, the fact she was fired and they're going to hire her back. Is this a publicity stunt? What the deal is, right? I mean, all of these things, right? Because the reality at the end of the day, you know, freedom of speech nowadays is really harmful. It's really harmful, and people say stupid things, and we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and I think that as a celebrity, you have to be really, really careful with how you voice things because you may not think that it has, your intent may have been different, but the fact that you spoke the words or you wrote the words and you have it in print and you have it recorded, that changes everything. There's no taking that back. So I don't care what you meant or what you didn't mean. A fact is a fact. Is there, right? So with that, is it as much as a big deal as they're making it? To somebody it is. To somebody it is, right? You got to be really careful with your words. And also too, then my thought is like, is it relevant today? It may be. It may be. So it's a little bit tough to decide on that. Did they have to fire and go to that extreme? I'm not sure that was necessary. I'm not really sure that was necessary. But I think that part of the reasons it may be necessary is so that people know that words matter, right? That the words that you say do have an effect and an impact, and that there is no room for stupidity. There really isn't. We're not cool with that. That's not acceptable. So with that said, it's like, oh, but I love the character and all that. Yeah, well, the character is different than the person that's playing the character, right? And so I'm hoping that they work it out because, like I said, I love her. I thought that she was freaking amazing, both in Deadpool and The Mandalorian. I think she's an incredible force, and very believable in what she does. But at the same time, you got to be smart. You got to be smart, right? And so it's something to think about. It's something to think about. So let's hope. But once again, I'm telling you, and I know what she said, and I got to tell you that, I'm married to a Jewish man. I'm married to a Jewish man. We take that stuff very, very seriously. But at the same time, I'm not really sure that her reference that she was making was really meant to come across as insensitive as it did. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But separating the person from the character is where I'm at. And I love the character, right? And when I saw this figure, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. And I was kind of sad that they fired her. So we'll see what happens because every time that I read something, there's a different report, And I have dealt with Hollywood before. I'm from California, right? I've dealt with a lot of celebrities. I know what the deal is. I dealt with a lot of PR people. I'm telling you, it's a really interesting game. It's a really, really interesting game. So with that, keep your eyes open, take things with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, things are sensationalized. And next thing you know, she's back on, right? And all of a sudden, ratings, woo! So think about that. Think about that. Yeah, I'm so lucky that I've had all kinds of experiences with all kinds of facts of life, and the Hollywood experience is always an interesting one. It opened up my eyes to a lot. So when I read about things like that, I'm a little more aware of what goes on because I experienced it and I saw it and I dealt with the people behind the scenes. So in seeing how things work, they make sense because we are suckers for that stuff. Suckers, love it. So so keep yourself in check when it comes to all of that you hear, and that's gonna crack up a lot of these people who are critics, right? Like they have a one-on-one know about what's going on, and I crack up because the reality of it is we're not really sure what the reality of it is, right? So be careful with that. Be careful with that. Stay smart about that. But when it comes down to the character, that's all I care about. The character, right? And the fact that, like I said, I really liked her character. I gotta get this. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. So, damn right, it's a pre-order. Had to do it. Had to do it. Like I said, I'm not into statues at all. It's not my thing. But my husband, for my birthday last year, which was last April, he got me the Edward Scissorhand statue. Dude, I say good morning to that thing every day. As a matter of fact, it's not even in my collection rooms. I have 2 rooms that I have my collection in. No, I have them like in my den, on the coffee table. Boom, right there. When I sit and have coffee, when I read, I'm having a conversation with Edward. That's right. Edward is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, he is stunning. I mean, first of all, I got him in April, and then COVID hit. I was stuck in California. My husband was here in our other home, and finally he drove out to California after being not being stuck there for a couple of months without being able to come back here. And he drove out there and he asked, "Do you want me to bring your gift?" And I was like, "No, you can leave it there. It can wait." So not knowing what it was, right? But I knew, I could wait. Don't worry about bringing it. So then when I finally was able to get here, and we actually drove back here from cross country, right? That was a hell of a trek, but together it was a lot easier. And I literally get here and I turn around and he comes out with this big ass box, big, and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" Right? Because I had totally forgotten that he had got me a gift. My birthday already passed, right? It's been months already, and so it was in his mind because he knew what he had got me. He knew that I was gonna love it, but I had no idea what it was. So and maybe I'll find a way of showing you a clip of my receiving that, because I look at the video now. He was recording me and my reaction. It was crazy, but it was as genuine as it gets, because I mean I'm cracking up almost tears because it was so hilarious. So I open it up and I see what it says, and I'm like, "No way, no way. Oh my God," I was blown away. And this thing is like, it's got a good height to it, but the base is so heavy, and he like snaps onto the base, and then his arms are magnetic, and you put them on, and it's got all the blades, and figure is freaking beautiful. I mean, they captured it. They captured him like no other. Then I looked at the Sideshow when they did Edward Scissorhand. It looks dumb compared to the statue. The statue is like, I think that the Edward Scissorhand is in my living room. I mean, it looks so freaking amazing. So the artwork on that is incredible. I think it's called Hollywood Group. This collectibles company. Amazing. And the way that I saw him, and this is why I was extremely surprised. We had gone to Florida. To visit my in-laws, and my I have some relatives in Florida, and wherever I go, I look for the shop. Oh yeah, collectible shop. I want to see what they have, and that's like a field trip for me, and you can relate. And sure enough, near where the hotel we were staying at, there was one. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's what we're going to do. While we wait for his parents to arrive, I'm like, well, let's go and kill some time. Found this. I had to look up the name of this shop because the shop was cool. It was so cool. They had the shop itself with all kinds of, I mean, amazing collectibles. Like they were collectibles that I had no idea they were even made. Whether it was movies, characters, TV, whatever it was like, wow, mind blowing, mind blowing the selections. And in the back there, there's like this curtain thing, or you go through this door, and they had a freaking cantina, freaking amazing cantina with all kinds of stuff coming out of the walls, things in cages, all kinds of dark lighting. I mean, it was stunning. I mean, so cool. And they actually serve drinks out there. They have like certain nights where they have somebody play, and then they have they serve drinks. And I was like, oh man, for a collector, I thought that was genius. That was a genius thing to do. But you look at these, you know how it is. You go to these stores and you look at these, you got all these collections, and there's that one figure that stops you in your tracks. That you're like, oh my God, right? You're like, wow, that's just crazy. What is it? Oh my God. That was that Edward Scissorhands figure for me. When I saw that thing, and trust me, when I tell you, I'm not into statues. I like articulation. I like fabric. I like, seeing things move and being able to position and do dioramas and stuff like that. That's my thing. Not into statues. But first of all, I love anything that Johnny Depp does. Anything, any figures with that. Freaking love it, right? When I saw that Edward Scissorhands, I was like, oh, wait, oh my God. And I stared at it, and I got underneath it, and I was looking, and I was like, wow. And I'm not even sure if I looked at the price, because maybe I did, and I was like, just keep walking. You don't even think. And also, too, I'm in Florida, it's not like I'm going to put it in my suitcase and bring it home, right? I didn't want to, if I wanted to make it happen, I would have made it happen, but I know that the price tag probably put me in shock, and it wasn't possible. But what I didn't realize was that my husband was paying attention. He was paying attention. So when I got home from California, finally made it home, and he pulls out my birthday gift, and it's this big ass box. I was like, what is it? What is that, right? Because I was like, is it like, it's not a hot toy, because the hot toy boxes are smaller, but is it a Hulk Buster maybe? I don't know. Like, I had no idea whatsoever. And I gotta tell you, I had no freaking idea that Edward Scissorhands was gonna be it. When I saw what it was, I was doing the happy dance like I was so freaking ecstatic. Oh my God. Like, I didn't even know how to even touch him. I was like so nervous, and I was like, oh my God, I was shaking. It was unbelievable. So I have had him sitting on my in my coffee table up in the den ever since, and I freaking love him. I love him. So he opened up my whole mind about statues. I see some statues, and when something is beautiful, and now I get it now that when you want to have that one figure, and I can see why it's these people are collecting them, and they have an amazing collection of these statues, because there's some amazing artwork, amazing. So when I saw the Superman and the Kara figure, I was like, oh my God, they're stunning. They are stunning. And what I like about both of them is that they have a presence, because first of all, it's just about them. It's not them bouncing off any rocks or doing this or anything busy around them. It's them. Clean, beautiful. The same thing with the Edward Scissorhands figure. It's just him. Every little detail, like his hands, his scissors, his hair, right? And then the face, I'm like, wow. And that's what I felt when I saw these other two figures. And I was like, these other two statues. I was like, wow, I couldn't pass it up because I know. Trust me when I tell you, they're gonna sell out. They're going to sell out. So if you're interested in any of it, and check to see if you could do it, because I put the down payment on both, and I don't have to make my first payment, I think, till like November or something like that. So think about it. Think about it. Actually, I think the first payment may be May, June, because I think the release is anywhere from November to February, right? So they gave themselves a nice window there. So think about it. And also, too, remember that on Sideshow, you could postpone a payment. You could also change the dates of your payment. So, if you want to make it work, there are ways to go about it. So keep that in mind, and make notes of all these things I'm telling you, because they are going to be important for your collection and for you to be able to get what you want and not be heartbroken like I have been so many times when I kick myself for not jumping on it, right? And then I have to say, well, there's only so much you can get, right? But in doing that, check out the market. If you have any questions for me and you want to know, hey, what do you think about this? I'll be happy to help you out. Let me know. Say, hey, Peter, what's going on with this? What do you think? And I'll be happy to let you know. I like I said, I research a lot. When I come to you and I do these videos, trust me when I tell you, I've been doing some research. I want to be able to make sure that I can give you the right information. Also, too, if for any reason I didn't know it, just call me out on it. Call me out on it. I'll make sure that we confirm and we get the right information. And sometimes, like today, like I told you, I made a correction about Barbie because I told you in the last episode that there were 6 figures. And then when I looked, I was like, wait a minute, fool, there's 7. And I was like, oh yeah, there's 7. Right? So, we're all human. We're all human, right? But I want to make sure that I give you the right information. So with that said, I think I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. In my next episode, I'm gonna talk to you more about coming soon items. Yeah, some figures that are coming out soon. I gave you a list, I believe, in my last episode. Was coming out soon, on the episode before, and either episode, I think either 9 or 10. I talked about the coming soon list, and then I found some others that are coming out soon too. So I'll give you a list of those, and so you keep your eye out on those. Also too, I'm gonna give you a list on what's on the wait list. Some of these figures that what's on the wait list and where you may be able to find them. Yeah, so I got some good stuff coming up for you, and we've got mail. Yeah, we've got some mail to open up. I got let's see, 3 killer collectibles that are not Hot Toys, but for the other collectors, people who are collecting other stuff, there's some exciting figures, and for me, is a new journey, because these are the type of figures that I'll keep in the box, because if I don't have a cabinet with glass to display them, I just prefer to keep them in the box until that happens, because I don't want them to get dirty. I don't want them for any reason that you tap, that you hit them in any reason and they fall over and something happens or they get dirty. I mean, whatever. I just can't risk it with these high-end collectibles. It is not worth it. So with that, I'm a little more patient until I get some cabinets. Speaking of cabinets, freaking IKEA. Oh my God. Like I know all you guys are collecting Detoffs. I don't know how you're even getting them, right? So they're not really my thing, right? But the ones that are my thing, it's a freaking pain in the ass to get. Yeah, so I am now, there's been this one cabinet that I want to complete the set. I wanted to keep the same look. But I'm rethinking it, that maybe that's a different way that I could show it off, show off the room and still make it look good. Because I'm going to have to go for a different option, because I'm still waiting. And now what's happening is that I have figures that are waiting and I want to enjoy them, but I can't, because I don't want to cram my cabinets. I don't like that look. You know, and I know that a lot of people, that's what they do. They like get enough figure, they don't have anywhere to put them. Thing, you know, they're cramming them. And not to mention any names, Justin. Not to mention any names. But what happens is that it's just so much. It's just so much fucking stimulus to the eye that you can't really see. You can't really appreciate what that one figure is. You know, besides, you know, they're not in the diorama, and there's like, you know, one in front of the other, and there's no no stadium effect. Those figures are expensive, and you can't even appreciate them. So I don't want to go into that whole thing myself. That's for me. What other collectors may be able to be okay with that because they just want them in there, right? But as for me, I want to appreciate my figures. I want there to be some space around it. I want to be able to see they have a tag. I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see their boots and their shoes and whatever, right? So that's my thing. But I totally get that, you know, space is very valuable to people. Some people don't have a choice, but you know, I'm always saying, rotate things, pull some things out, you know, showcase this and then showcase that. That way it'll be new to you again. You know, there are different ways to go about it. So with that said, I think I'm going to have to figure out a different case to get because I'm tired of waiting, and there's some figures that I want to see. I want to be able to appreciate it. And trust me, every night before I go to bed, I go to my collection room and I say goodnight to all of them. I put on the little, you know, I got a remote, put on the lights on all of them. I stand there and I admire them. Yeah, and in the morning I say good morning because they're in a different light, and I really have an appreciation for them, but I really get to see what they are. When I put a spotlight on them, it's on them. You know, you can see the figure, and I love it. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So yeah, so hit me up with any questions. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, is it here? Or is it here? Where's my little square face? That's where you're going to subscribe. All right, so hit that button. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Let's talk. All right, see you later. Take care.